SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.Dot grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to We Believe Digital Newsbreak. My name is Chris Young and I'll be your host today. We have a few items to put out, and we're glad that you're here. We're broadcasting live from the heart of the Deep South, Jackson, Mississippi, in an African-American owned broadcasting studio. Our website is webelievedigital.com. And we conduct live shows and broadcast those to our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel, and with a short delay, they're then broadcast on Roku TV. So we're glad you could join us, and our goal is to cover stories that perhaps wouldn't ordinarily be covered to the extent that we do, and just try to keep the people in the know instead of giving you just the quickest soundbite that really doesn't give you the full texture of the story or of that piece of news, and to try and go into a little bit more detail that you might not ordinarily find elsewhere. So we're glad you're here, and we'll get kicked off with the first story, which is right here in Jackson, Mississippi. The Jackson City Council had a special meeting this morning, and one of the items strongly connects with a topic that we've been covering here in Jackson for some time now, and that is the garbage collection contract. So in a little bit of history, starting April 1, by emergency contract by the mayor, Richards Disposal was told to begin picking up solid waste disposal in Jackson, Mississippi, and they've been doing that. So they're now nearly 2 months on the job, and there's legal battles going on, and the council is suing the mayor, and the mayor is suing the council, and for some reason, our predominantly African-American city council does just not want to have this Richards Disposal, an African-American company from New Orleans, picking up our trash here in Jackson. It appeared they were very happy with the status quo that's been 35 years now of waste management, picking up the trash in Jackson. Very expensive to do business with them. Doing business with the new company, Richards Disposal, saves Jackson, a highly cash-strapped city, over $1.2 million per year, and yet still the council voted to keep the other provider in the job. So we're always trying to understand what the motivations are, why you would vote against having an African-American firm versus a multinational firm picking up trash here in Jackson. Many temporary jobs with the other firm versus full-time jobs with Richards Disposal, where benefits are allotted, where families can afford to pay for health insurance and really earn a living wage, doing a very arduous but important job here in our city. So today, the claim was presented to the council for payment for services for the month of April, and it was quickly voted down on a 5-2 vote. And the claim was for $808,035. It appears, I watched by video, it appears that Councilwoman Lee and Councilman Griselle voted for that payment to be made, and the other council members voted against it. Those two council members indicated that, these are workers, they have families, they need to be paid. And yes, they acknowledge that there's legal battles going on, yet and still services are being provided, so we need to pay the bill for those services. Councilman Banks had illuminated the fact that he thought it would be a bad precedent to pay a bill. He even indicated it may well be illegal to pay a bill when there is no binding contract with Richards Disposal. Again, these matters are before the courts, and yet until Mr. Richards receives a cease and desist order, he will continue to pick up the trash in Jackson. So, some council members also suggested that if they were to vote for payment to pay this claim, and the contract was still in limbo, that would be put them in some sort of legal jeopardy. I'm not positive I understood that, but that's what was said. One of the council members, Councilman Stokes, from Ward 3, indicated, he gave, I think as an example to try and make his point, indicated that if a youngster comes into your yard and cuts your grass without permission, that you're not obligated to pay that youngster for cutting your grass. So everybody's got a perspective on this. And of course, we heard from the city attorney staff, and they suggested, now again, they're the attorneys for both the city council and the mayor's office, and they suggested that Richards Disposal was doing the job, has been doing the job since April 1st. They are operating in good faith. They have provided services, and therefore they should be paid. That was City Attorney Williamson. City Attorney Katoria Martin indicated that in a recent filing by the City Council's attorneys just last week, they indicated that until the matter is resolved, that we should continue the status quo with garbage collection. So again, their filings indicate that they want things to continue until we get a final resolution of the matter. However, they don't want to pay for that in the meantime. So that's what's going on. The latest of the garbage contract in Jackson, Mississippi. Another a story that's important is the Jackson Municipal Airport Authority. The Mayor Lumumba, has appointed someone. There's been a vacancy over there on the board for some time now. I believe it's been since last December. And the mayor has appointed Dr. Geraldine B. Cheney to serve on the Municipal Airport Authority Board. Dr. Cheney's a pediatric specialist. She's been in practice here in this area for 45 years now, and she's affiliated with numerous hospitals. So hopefully this will bring the allotted members of the Airport Authority Board back up to par. Yesterday marked the 55th anniversary of the death of Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes was born in Joplin, Missouri. He was a poet, a social activist, a novelist, a playwright, and a columnist. He was influential in creating or innovating a particular form, literary form called jazz poetry, that really got people's attention and still stands today. And he's ultimately is best known for his civil rights activism and also as a leader of the Harlem Renaissance. So yesterday, Langston Hughes gone 55 years. So I think we can get ready to shift over to a commercial break now. We're very grateful for our sponsors, and we'll get back with you with a couple more stories right after this break.
SGECOVIDsolutions.com is paving the way forward for a safer city government delivering cutting-edge biosecurity and biosafety protocols developed internationally by top virologists and scientists using an all-natural cleaning solution, killing COVID-19 on contact like no other product on the international market. For more information, please call 1-800-281-9080 or visit us online at SGECOVIDsolutions.com. Let SGECOVIDsolutions.com provide innovative rapid facilities testing and world-class state-of-the-art biorisk safety protocols for all of your coronavirus needs. Call 1-800-281-9080 or visit us online at sgecovidsolutions.com.
Welcome back to We Believe Digital Newsbreak. We're glad you're joining us today. We're just going over a few issues that affect both Mississippi and also national issues that may be of interest, or certainly we hope are of interest to you. Tomorrow marks the 2-year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. It's amazing how the time passes, and we know that former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has been found guilty of Floyd's murder and is begun serving his sentence. Recently, one of the other there were a total of 4 officers that were charged, and recently one of the other officers, former police officer Thomas Lane, pled guilty to aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter, unintentional murder is the way it was characterized. And so, and then there's 2 other defendants, police officers from Minnesota, J. Alexander Kang, and then Tao Tay. Both of those had been found guilty in February of depriving Floyd of his right under color of law for the death in police custody. Once again, none of this would have been brought to our attention had it not been for, I believe, she was still a teen, for turning on her video camera on her cell phone and recording this event, which there was just no way to hide from the torturous, ended up being murderous behavior of Chauvin, and the other police officers, just were indifferent to the pressure, being applied to the neck from Chauvin's knee. They didn't intervene. It didn't register with them that was absolutely not okay to be doing. So the federal sentencing dates for Lane and Kang and Tao have not yet been announced, but that's coming up. And again, that's tomorrow will mark the 2-year anniversary of George Floyd's murder. There's been talk recently about, the outrage by the citizenry about Floyd's murder. It seemed like the marches, the protests, the vocal response by America and around the world, it seems to have subdued somewhat recently. Yesterday, I was listening to the Black Information Network, and they indicated that 50% of African Americans are still active and speaking out about Floyd's murder. So and they shared that in close proximity to another story about interest in overall in Black Lives Matter, somewhat reducing recently. So hopefully we can follow up on that over the next few days. The last story that I had is sort of near and dear to my heart because I had served in the U.S. Navy for over 20 years, and I had no idea that would ever come to pass. I got a nudge from the judge and had a chance to go in the military in lieu of serving a little, probably a 30-day sentence for being a really bad actor. This was back in 1980, And little did I know I would end up spending over 20 years in the Navy. You really can't get me to say a bad word about them. I mean, they're just so helpful to me, the structure, the discipline. It really helped to take a disgruntled young man and turn him into a productive citizen in serving my country. So the connection here is the naming, for the first time ever, a U.S. ship will be named in honor of a Filipino. Never happened before. We've had ships named after African Americans. I think that number is up around a dozen or so ships now, but never before has a U.S. ship been named after a Filipino, and his name is Teleflora Trinidad. So on the drawing board now is the USS Teleflora Trinidad. He was one of 13 Filipinos that have been awarded, recipients rather, of the Medal of Honor, and the first one who's to have a ship named after him. It's a really big deal. It's a high honor, and the Medal of Honor itself, just as a bit of a reminder, is the U.S. government's highest and most prestigious military decoration. It can only be awarded to American soldiers, sailors, Marines, Airmen, Guard, and Coast Guard who have distinguished themselves with acts of valor. However, in wartime, as in World War II, exceptions were made for that. So that's a great story to be able to report to you, and we'll follow that ship along. And that's all we have for our news break today. Hopefully, the next time we come to you, we'll have call-in lines available, so you'll be able to call in and comment on our stories that we're putting out. And I look forward to Mr. Garrett being back with me, perhaps as early as tomorrow. And we thank our sponsors, and we thank you for tuning in. We can always be reached on WeBelieveDigital.com and on Facebook and on YouTube channel, and also on Roku TV. So thank you for your time, and have a great afternoon. Stay safe.
Advertise on WeBelieve.Global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.Global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.